Farm Bureau Insurance wants you to join us for a concert in Virginia Beach this season. We're giving away 2 premium seats, VIP parking, and VIP club passes to every concert this year. Register now online at farmbureaulive.com.
Thank you, Bob. Well, I'm thrilled, obviously, to extend our stay here at Richmond. This was a tremendous year for Spider basketball and the culmination of a lot of hard work and a lot of effort by some great players and great people. And I'm thrilled for myself and my family, our coaching staff, and our players that we've been able to reach this agreement with Richmond. It's a great school and a place that I love very much. And I'm thrilled to be here for a long time to come. Well, I think you're right. I think you have, from a sports fan's perspective, you think about the teams you see most often. The teams on television in the biggest conferences. But when you're actually in it and doing the job, I think your focus is more on what your day-to-day life is like, and in particular in coaching, what kind of student athletes you can recruit, who you're working with every day in your administration, what kind of staff you're able to retain, and how competitive you can be. So when I add up all those factors, this is a great place, and they've, Jim Miller most importantly, and Dr. Ayers, they've made me feel very, very comfortable and great to, they've made me feel very good about being here. So there has been no, for me, this is great, and I value what my professional experience has been here very, very much. Well, I think it was only about a week different, but in the college basketball world, that can be a long time. Just more that Jim and I probably talked. There was very little negotiating going on. I think Richmond was excited about our program. My staff and I are very excited to be here, and so it didn't take that much back and forth. I mean, it was just kind of very quick, and the discussions between the administration and myself have always been extremely professional and right to the point at Richmond, which is great. And this one, just like that. So it was fairly simple. It was great. We talked to them last night around 6 o'clock, and they seemed to be excited. I think a couple of them were surprised. Nobody seemed mad, or nobody showed me that they were upset. But if Coach Carrillo had come in after my junior year and said he was leaving, I'd have driven him to the next place. You know what I mean? But no, everybody seemed to be excited and somewhat relieved. Well, we just stopped playing on Friday, so it may have escalated, but it never really got the chance to. I think Jim was way out in front of it, and my intentions to stay were very sincere. So it never really was able to escalate at all, to be honest with you. Well, yeah, we feel like the program is in very good shape. The biggest credit to the seniors is that they're leaving the program in such better condition than how they found it, and most importantly, they built a great foundation, and not only a foundation where we have good players behind them, but they've been mentored, they've been able to experience a lot of success. I think the work ethic is very strong, the talent is very high, and even though next year will be such a different team without those guys who have carried us for so long, we feel really good about where we are, the recruiting that we've been able to do, and what's in place at Richmond for us to be successful. We think is very strong. Well, it probably has changed everybody's perception of how much success a school like ours can have in the NCAA tournament. And basketball is a game of inches, a game of bounces. So I think that the talent that we can attract to Richmond is going to be very, very good and good enough to compete in the NCAA tournament. I think those schools and the success they've had is an indication of that. Also, with players leaving early, that's probably one of the biggest things that has kind of really evened things out. You know, the 3-point line and players leaving early so that the best players on the high major teams are usually younger. That has evened things out a lot too. So, you know, I mean, our goals are to you know, we need to get to work and try to be good next year. But I think in the big picture, yeah, I think we can be very competitive, and I think we are a national program.
I think it's changed because many of the aspirations we had when I first got here 10 years ago are now coming to fruition, that we have a program that's nationally known and respected, and ability to play and compete successfully against anybody. And I think that the reason me personally and the university wanted to create a situation that Chris wanted to be here was that we felt that Chris is the right fit at Richmond. He brings, as I mentioned in the statement, that he can attract the right type of student athletes to Richmond, and he has guided them to success in the classroom and on the court as well. I think the main thing it does to the university is just it reinforces the sense of excellence, the commitment to excellence we have at this university, and that athletics is an important part of that. I think the university leadership and the alumni and the students all recognize that having a great basketball program and a great athletic department can create the excitement and the camaraderie at the university that we all aspire to have. Right, and I think Chris alluded to this. We've been, at least for inside the athletic department and with university leadership, we've been working on this for a while. It's not something that we just did in the last few days, and so we've been putting something together that makes sense for the university, makes sense for Chris, and I'm sure there are opportunities that Chris could have had that would have been short-term, very attractive, and we think that we put together a package that really shows Chris's long-term commitment to the university and our long-term commitment to him and his family and his program. It rang a lot during the last few days. Mostly from people excited that Chris is coming back and encouraging us to do what we can to keep him, and just general compliments about the program. I think you'd be surprised. The most emails I get, the most phone calls I get are about the way our student athletes conduct themselves, whether it's hotel managers or people in restaurants or on airlines. The way our young men and our basketball program conduct themselves, we get a tremendous number of compliments about that.